The time 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Tilani Piris. The Indian Prime Minister says the implementation of the 13th Amendment is essential. Sri Lanka ranks second in a survey on successful COVID-19 control and economic recovery. COVID-19 recovery is on the rise. Sri Lanka joins the global community to celebrate World Tourism Day. Petitions filed against the 20th Amendment to the Constitution to be taken up for hearing in the Supreme Court on Tuesday. And on international news, the UN chief calls for nuclear disarmament. And on sports news, cricket, ICC staffers in Dubai test positive for COVID-19. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized that the implementation of the 13th Amendment to the Sri Lankan Constitution is essential for carrying forward the process of peace and reconciliation. PM Modi and his Sri Lankan counterpart, Mahinda Rajapaksa, held the first ever India-Sri Lanka virtual bilateral summit yesterday. Prime Minister Modi called upon the new government in Sri Lanka to work towards realizing the expectations of Tamils for equality, justice, peace and dignity within a united Sri Lanka by achieving reconciliation nurtured by implementation of the constitutional provisions. He emphasized that implementation of the 13th Amendment to the Sri Lankan Constitution is essential for carrying forward the process of peace and reconciliation. PM Modi also announced a grant assistance of $15 million to Sri Lanka for the promotion of Buddhist ties between India and Sri Lanka. Both leaders were unanimous that the ancient cultural links between India and Sri Lanka are special and must be nurtured further. The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health said COVID-19 recoveries increased to 3,208. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the country increased to 3,349 after 4 persons tested positive for the virus yesterday. 128 COVID-19 patients, including 16 foreign nationals, continue to receive treatment, while 40 suspected cases are under medical observation. Sri Lanka will join the global community to celebrate the World Tourism Day amid the COVID-19 pandemic under the banner Tourism and Rural Development. The official event organized by the Ministry of Tourism, Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority and the Department of Trade, Commerce and Tourism of Central Provincial Council held at the Kandy City Centre today. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said, "This is an important event and we will have to restart tourism during a pandemic. The main focus of the event will be to promote domestic tourism till international travel is restored." This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Petitions filed against the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be taken up for hearing in the Supreme Court on Tuesday. The draft 20th Amendment Bill was tabled in Parliament last week. A special 5-judge bench has been appointed by Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya to hear the 18 petitions. The petitioners have cited the Attorney General as the respondent. Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya will preside over the 5-member judge bench. The other 4 are Supreme Court Justices Buwanaka Aluvihara, Priyantha Javadana and Vijit Malagod and also Sisira Diabru. 484 suspects have been arrested by the police in special raids carried out in the Western Province. The Office of the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police of the Western Province said the raids were carried out from 6 a.m. yesterday till 5 a.m. today. 169 were arrested for the possession of heroin. 133 suspects were arrested for the possession of cannabis, 122 for the possession of illegal stocks of alcohol, and 23 for the possession of ice. Furthermore, 37 suspects were arrested for the possession of other illegal narcotic substances. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Sri Lanka, bested by China, came in second in terms of COVID-19 epidemic, prevention measures, economic recovery and international cooperation out of 108 countries surveyed by the ICAI Research Institute, part of the country's largest financial media group, ICAI Media Group. 9 out of the top 10 countries were in the Asia-Pacific region, namely South Korea, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Australia and New Zealand, according to the report released. Germany was the highest-scoring European country, coming in 23rd, with Austria, Greece and Switzerland also among the continent's better performers. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on Watch Light this evening, a Gazette notification was issued by the government announcing a maximum retail price per coconut. Accordingly, the maximum retail price for a coconut with a circumference of 13 inches was announced as 70 rupees per nut. A coconut with a circumference of 12 to 13 inches to be sold at 65 rupees per nut, while a coconut with a circumference below 12 inches to be sold at a price of 50 rupees per nut. Meanwhile, the CAA ordered that no producer, distributor or trader should contravene the maximum retail price mentioned in the Gazette notification. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
People's Leasing, the trusted leader. From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. The UN chief calls for nuclear disarmament. Azerbaijan and Armenia clash over disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. Google to block political ads after US election. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for the world to reverse course and return to a common path to nuclear disarmament. Guterres released a statement for the International Day for the total elimination of nuclear weapons. The UN designated September 26th to mark the first high-level meeting on nuclear disarmament at the UN Assembly in 2013. Clashes have begun between Armenian and Azerbaijani forces over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, with at least one Azerbaijani helicopter shot down. Armenia said Azerbaijan had launched an air and artillery attack. It later declared martial law and total military mobilization. Azerbaijan said it was responding to shelling along the whole front. Both sides have reported civilian deaths. US IT giant Google has decided to ban election ads on its platform for an unspecified period after polls close for the US presidential election on November the 3rd. The decision is seen as an attempt to prevent post-election confusion. Other major IT firms are taking similar steps. Twitter has announced that it will use warning labels or delete groundless claims about tampered ballots. Facebook says it will stop accepting new political ads by candidates and their campaigns in the week before the election. And now to this World News broadcast, the main points again. The UN chief calls for nuclear disarmament. Azerbaijan and Armenia clash over disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. Google to block political ads after US election. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
People's Leasing, the trusted leader. From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And on development news, India has offered a line of credit worth $100 million to Sri Lanka for 3 solar projects in the country. India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagley, called on Minister of Power, Dalasala Perumal, and reiterated India's commitment towards a strong and multifaceted bilateral partnership, including in the power sector. They discussed various issues of mutual interest, including ways to expedite progress on bilateral power projects currently under discussion between the two sides. That came to you in development news. We move on with sports news. Cricket. According to foreign media, there is a possibility that the International Cricket Council headquarters in Dubai would remain closed for a few days after a few of its staffers have tested positive for the COVID-19. Accordingly, the staff would have to work from home as the entire premises are being sanitized for operations to restart as per the United Arab Emirates health protocols. However, the good news for all the 6 IPL teams based out of Dubai is that the ICC Academy grounds are safe for training as they are located at different places at some distance away from the apex body headquarters. That came to you in sports news.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goal.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Heineken's Asia Pacific Graduate Program is the world's acclaimed beverage company's innovative talent program that engages and inspires potential recruits across the Asia Pacific region. Launched in 2017, this unique initiative demonstrates the diversified opportunities available to candidates regionally across the business. Heineken seeks to employ professionals with a thirst for knowledge and a spirit for adventure. That's business news.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goal.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Economic News, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Money, capital markets and state enterprise reforms, State Minister Ajit Niwad Cabral on Friday said that Sri Lanka will sign foreign direct investments to the tune of around $2 billion by the end of this year, ending the year. He said around 800 million FDIs have already been realized and added that more will be finalized shortly. Sri Lanka's FDIs increased by around $153 million in the first quarter this year. However, reaching the $2 billion target would be an uphill task given the current global scenario. Political stability, consistency and clarity of policy are a key to woo investors who in the past had abandoned investments due to the political dilly-dallying and the lack of consistency in policy. That's economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th phase offer from 14th September to 11th October. Win gifts worth in 100,000s for every over 3,000 rupees bill. Visit CIB today.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Department of Meteorology says a few showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central and also northwestern provinces and in the Galle, Matra districts today. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the eastern and Uva provinces in the evening. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th phase offer from 14th September to 11th October. Win gifts worth in 100,000s for every over 3,000 rupees bill. Visit CIB today.
And now to in this news broadcast, the main points once again. The Indian Prime Minister says the implementation of the 13th Amendment is essential. Sri Lanka ranks second in a survey on successful COVID-19 control and economic recovery. COVID-19 recoveries on the rise. Sri Lanka joins the global community to celebrate World Tourism Day. Petitions filed against the 20th Amendment to the Constitution to be taken up for hearing in the Supreme Court on Tuesday. And on international news, the UN chief calls for nuclear disarmament. And on sports news, cricket, ICC staffers in Dubai test positive for COVID-19. That ends this news broadcast.